Hi there, everybody. Welcome to what will be part 3 in my series of cellmate letters from Casey Marie Anthony to cellmate Robyn Adams. Robyn Adams and her husband, former Altamonte Springs police officer, were both sentenced to a 10-year prison sentence for a marijuana grow operation. Sylvia Gonzalez, formerly Hernandez, was a former corrections officer there in that 2008-2009 time period, and she, I believe, made a little handshake deal with Robyn Adams to say, hey, spend some time with Casey, get her to talk to you. I'll look the other way while you guys spend some time together, and I'll let you guys write letters and pass letters and whatnot. And I think that there was a little wink and a handshake there. And like I say, this all takes me back to 2008, 2009 when I was very, very sick and in the hospital in Las Vegas. And I had moved to Las Vegas for law school. It was the perfect plan. And you know what happens when you make perfect plans? Well, you're just not in charge of that, are you? There's somebody who's already spoken and your life is already mapped out before you're even born, some believe. So that's what had happened to me. I was already on board, and with all of my work experience and whatnot, UNLV had offered me a deal I could not refuse back then in 2008. So I packed up what I had and moved down to Las Vegas with the kids, and it was going to be I was going to get my law degree in three years because they were taking all of my credits and prior work experience and everything, and got down there, moved everything, and had another problem with my kidney stones, and that caused an infection, and we'll talk about that someday, but that infection nearly killed me. And so I was in the hospital and watching this nightly. I was a captive audience. The only thing I really had to look forward to, other than really good hospital food in Vegas, surprisingly, was Bombshell Tonight with Nancy Grace, talking about Top Mom and this Top Mom and the things that were said. And now, when I first heard about Casey Anthony and her missing baby, Kaylee Marie Anthony, I looked at the situation, and really the only social media that was popular at that time was MySpace, and I loved me my MySpace. I even had my theme song, which is Crazy Bitch by Buckcherry. I had won tickets to a personal concert in Vegas by Buckcherry before I got sick. And there was no paper, so Josh Todd from Buckcherry had to sign my body with his autograph. So I had that. I'll show it someday. But MySpace was cool because, it comes on and it shows your pictures with your theme song, and, it was really cool in your own little world. So I was reading a lot about Casey Anthony and her missing baby, Kaylee Anthony, and I was really looking at this and really, I had just finished my law and justice program and was really just in that space where I was briefing cases. And so I essentially briefed the case when I was writing about it on MySpace, in my little MySpace thoughts and whatnot. So I looked at everything and I said, you know what? I guess I'm going to put in my disclaimer right now. My channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I like to go by the 80-20 rule. I'd like to say that 80% is truth and 20% is malarkey, but some might think it's the opposite, and that's just fine. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I hope that I provide a teaching opportunity, maybe a different way for you to look at things and understand things in a different way. I am not mom shaming. Rather, I'm advocating for those that no longer have a voice. And I do hope that I address potentially abusive and harmful behavior so that it will aim to prevent future abuse by those who have put themselves as public figures on social media, purporting to be these perfect moms, and instead they're anything but, and their children are being used as pawns, and the truth is they're anything but the ideal mother. And Casey Marie Anthony is, I believe her to be a young Shanann Watts. And at some point I will explain the parallels there. You might already see it. But anyway, when I was briefing the case, shall we say, when I would talk about the case, I straight up looked at it and I said, it is my opinion that Casey was being molested by her father, George Anthony, and that either her brother or her father, or indeed the father of Casey, and that was why there was this big shroud of mystery around Casey's pregnancy and who the father was. At the time, it was very well known and accepted narrative that Casey's father was unknown. Her version was that he was a good friend and he had died in a motor vehicle accident or a SUV accident, never naming him, etc., etc. As I have read through these letters, in part 2 especially, it goes through and it shows, no, that's not true at all. Once again, as in the case of the Watts, there was a narrative that the Anthonys were putting out there. And we don't know if Baez was behind it or if her parents were, but there was definitely a narrative to shine Casey up a bit in the public eye. So I wrote that, and I in fact called one Leonard Padilla. Was that his name? Last name? The black cowboy hat guy. Leonard Padilla, I think his name was. And he was on Nancy Grace too. And I had called him because he was on the show all the time. And I called him too. And I said, hey, I think that, this is it. And he said that was a working theory, that was not ruled out. And then bombshell tonight, Nancy Grace came out and said straight up that they got the court proof that the courts went and took DNA from both Lee Anthony and George Anthony against Kaylee Marie's DNA when it was found, and Casey's, to see if either of them were in fact the father. That was a working theory of law enforcement. So when I had written it, before they found Kaylee's remains, very early in the investigation, like maybe when Kaylee was missing maybe 2 to 3 weeks, I wrote my theory out, and I got a message from Casey's mom, Cindy Marie Anthony, and she straight up said, how do you know my daughter? It was like, whoa. Cindy was on a mission, and she was going through social media pretty well for a woman of her age. I gotta hand it to her. And she was mining it and trying to find where her granddaughter was and who her daughter had been hanging out with and whatnot. And, I guess my blog caught her eye, and she read it and she was like, wait a minute, what do you know? And by the time that the trial came out and you saw how the defense really ran with that theory that, George was this molester and whatnot, it kind of just wasn't holding water, and I felt bad in some ways, for thinking it, because I got to really feel for George. But then George was like having this like affair with that chick, allegedly, who he was hanging around with, who was running some of the searches and whatnot. What was her name? Mary Rivera or something like that? Don't come for me. It was something like that. And then they were alleged to be having an affair. And it's like, it comes out that George was just really a pathological liar, and it caused a lot of problems throughout the marriage and really created a chaotic and dysfunctional environment for Casey to grow up in, and secondarily for then Kaylee to grow up in. It was not not the picture perfect family that you see, and Casey had a wonderful talent for taking pictures, and she is the one who took all of those pictures of Kaylee. Now, her mother, when Kaylee was in jail, her mother, Cindy Marie Anthony, went and licensed Kaylee's name. So I am reluctant to use that in a hashtag even, because I'm not trying to get sued. And what her mom did was she went and licensed many of those photographs that Casey had taken of Kaylee. So when they were used in the media and whatnot, money was given, royalties were given to the Anthony family. And as you saw, they did a lot of paid interviews. Anything like Inside Edition and all of that, those are all paid interviews, as are many magazine articles. So with that being said, last night when I ended with the beginning of a letter from Robyn to her friend Tracy. And I don't know if Tracy's a family member or friend, but I'm assuming friend. Robyn would send these letters from Casey to Tracy to hold and put in a safe place. Wink, wink. Okay. If Tracy, whoever Tracy is, sister, mother, whatever, friend, would have taken these letters and brought them to the Sun or Inside Edition or whatnot, and maybe they did. They could have probably made some good money and shared it and whatnot, and it could have went a long way. I bet that I think that the prison guard would have wanted a section of that for, or a portion of that for allowing this. But who knows? So here we go here. This is dated April 3rd, 2009, and it is a Friday, she states. And this is Robyn talking to Tracy. So Robyn Adams begins the letter. Side note, Robyn Adams has this beautiful handwriting. And she just kind of seems like a really neat, spiritually grounded woman. And so it's probably a really good kind of big sister mentor for Casey to kind of cling to in jail. I think that it really, probably was a good thing overall that they had each other. And Casey says just as much. Okay. Dear Tracy, first, I want to begin by apologizing for hurting your feelings and making you angry with my stupid words in my journal. I would never intentionally hurt you. I am just so sorry, and I feel horrible for making you upset. You mean the world to me, and I cherish our friendship as I do a sisterhood. The only reason Casey confides in me as much as she does is because she has no one to talk to, and for some reason she feels comfortable opening up to me. I'm honestly not sure why that is. This may be my only way out of prison sooner than my expected term. Did y'all hear that? Ding, 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 ding. Look at that. There you go. And I mean, that's kind of, but it's Casey Anthony. So what if somebody's exploiting Casey Anthony? Can I really feel bad? Can I really feel bad that somebody else is, screwing over her when she, screwed over her own daughter and probably chloroformed her? Anywho, she's thinking that these letters are going to get her out of prison. Wow. I'm going to read that again. The only reason Casey confides in me as much as she does is because she has no one to talk to, and for some reason she feels comfortable opening up to me. I'm honestly not sure why that is. Boo, would you get out of... Sorry. Technical. Boo, did you get out of the lamp, you weirdo? Boo-boo. Boo-boo. Sorry, I have technical difficulties with my staff here. Hold on. Boo boo. If you're in the light, you're not letting me look like a shadowy weird figure over here, honey. Boo boo, I'm afraid of your eyeballs if you look in the lamp like that. You want boo boo? Let me see what it does if I do that. Do you not want the lamp on, honey? Do you want me to leave it off? What are you doing, boo boo? You want to look at the moon or something? The moon's over there on the other side of the house, sweetheart. What are you doing, boo boo? What's the matter? I'm going to leave the lamp off so it doesn't blow out your eyeballs, okay? Oh, now you're down. Can Mama put it back on? Is that okay, boo boo? Wait, you just wanted to bother Mommy and get Mommy up? You want to try and be a lap cat? No? Come here, boo boo. Come here. There you go. You want to, here, you can play with the tape. There. Play with the tape measure. There you go. There you go, boo. There you go. Oh, what a good cat. I wish my listeners could see you. You're so skilled in everything you do. You're such an amazing cat. Wow. Look at you. A bird would not have a chance. So good that I've domesticated you because, honestly, you would not let any birds live in a 1 square mile. Not even kidding. Look at you, you're so good. You're so good, boo boo. Yes, you are. You're so good. You are so good, boo boo. There you go. Okay, can Mama focus now? You can have the tape measure. Sorry, everybody. My staff includes my boo boo. And, this is my office and I have my sewing stuff and everything else. And he does not appreciate it when I use the tape measure because he feels that a tape measure is some type of a serpent or something that threatens my safety. And so if he catches me with a tape measure at all, it's a violation and he does not appreciate it. And I have to let him then attack and kill the tape measure once again. So, Boo Boo is a boy, and I do like to pat his ego. So, now that he's happy with the tape measure, I think he's going to let me, but he might jump up here and scare the shit out of us in a second. So, he's just being a little funny. I hope he doesn't, but if we crash in just a minute, that'll be why. So, sorry about that. Anywho, so we got it clear here that Robyn's hoping that these letters get her off for good behavior or something. Like what? She's going to be like, hey, look, I dealt with CMA. Can you frickin' cut a few years off my sentence? And they're going to be like, yeah, you got to deal with her. Because, I mean, she is just so high maintenance when you read the letters and you just see how her mind races. Just from one thing to the other. It's just fascinating. So, thank you for your patience in me dealing with my boo. Okay, so I may have mentioned that I know something to Kat, but I'm not exactly sure what I wrote. Either way, I am certain that the specifics were not given. So in other words, I think that her friend on the outside saw her journal or something that must have had a secret, and she told Kat, and she's trying to kind of say, I'm sorry I did it, but I didn't tell her everything, right? So, Tracy, this is huge. I never really thought about how huge this case really is because I'm not on the outside, but apparently outside of my very small world of 35 people, her case is national, referring to CMA. I hate to say it this way, but I see no other way. I may be the only thing standing between her life in prison or her freedom. At first, I never thought of our talks as anything more than a conversation, as a sense of having an outlet with one another. I never gave it much thought how they might be of value to solving a murder investigation or even playing a role in such investigation. And she underlines solving a murder investigation or playing a role in such investigation. I did think that they might hold some value in the future, but that's as far as I thought. I only want to come home. But is there really valuable information in those notes? Without a doubt, the DA will analyze the hell out of everything she writes. Her attorney, Jose Baez, would have a complete conniption if he ever knew that she talked to anyone, much less put anything in writing. Do you honestly feel like there's value in these notes? Am I the only thing standing behind the largest investigation of a Florida murder? If word gets out to the DA that I have knowledge of even what her voice sounds like, I will be subpoenaed to turn over all of this information, and my way of bargaining would be gone. The only problem is, if there's no value in these letters, then I betrayed someone, and that makes me no better than the David Badali in ruining someone's life. The only real question is, and here we go with the quotes and hyphen, is there any useful information in those letters that can be used to convict her with murder? Without such evidence or solid information, she will walk free at the end of summer, August. As you can read for yourself, on one of the last notes she wrote, she admits who Kaylee's father is, Eric or Jesse. And it's Eric with a K, E-R-I-K. Eric is the one who died in the accident. Ooh. But Jesse is her ex-fiance and alive and well. And that started to play a role in the baby's life as a daddy. The only father that allows us to talk or communicate is Officer Hernandez. But of course, I will never admit that or even mention her name to anyone except you and my dad. Some people may know that Casey and I are friends and chat here and there, but you and my dad are the only ones who know more than that. Actually, you know more than Dad does. In so many ways, I feel like deception is so wrong. But on the other hand, I don't want to find myself facing more charges of conspiracy or withholding information like before. I will not talk to anyone about it unless I have an attorney present and seek legal counsel first. On another note, how funny would it be to write a book on funny stories from the big house? Short stories. Side note, Tabitha Jane off the cuff here. What a good frickin' idea, Robyn. Where'd you get that idea? You got it from CMA, jackfuck. Okay, anyway. Can I send them to you for safekeeping too? I'm not sure if I should disperse them in email journals or not. What do you think? I miss you so much. And wish that we could at least hug or have a conversation that's not recorded. Clay's mom stopped sending me magazines and stuff. She was probably only sending them because Clay asked her to, but since he left in October, they up and left back to Tallahassee and haven't received a letter from her since. Side note, off the cuff, Tabitha Jane here. You can have magazines in prison? Ooh. And I say prison and jail interchangeably because I don't see how Robyn was serving a 10-year sentence and Casey was still going through her trial, which, and she had to serve still a little bit more time, and then she was given credit for time served for her felony lying to police officer, the 4 counts of that. So do they keep them in jail before they move them out to prison? Because I don't think that Casey was in prison, and I don't think Robyn was in prison. I mean, it was still in jail? I don't know. I think it was because they talk about, trials and, people coming in, and it sounds like more of a jail. So I wonder why Robyn was there with her 10-year prison sentence, or if she was still arguing her case at that time, I wonder. Okay, back to the letter. Sorry, I digress. I wrote Clay's grandmother a letter, but when she wrote back to me, it was very cold and insincere. I think that they blame me for all of this somehow because I smoked pot. It makes me wonder why his parents didn't have a better attorney for Clay, being that his dad is a judge and knows plenty of attorneys. I wonder if they were ashamed of what happened and has too much pride to call upon contacts. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am of that being the case. That would be an absolute shame if pride were the case of not calling in favors to save their son. I can't think of any other reason they chose to let him serve 17 and a half years without appealing. I did tell Sandra that my parents hired an attorney to appeal my case, and she sort of huffed at that. Misery loves company, and she is the perfect example of that. I need Clay's address so I can write to him directly instead of going through his mom. She's always tried and succeeded at controlling everything, and I was sick of that. Very, very, very sick of that a very long time ago. Honestly, if Clay and I don't survive our marriage, I doubt that it will be the result of our time apart, but rather his mother interfering. I think that we could probably survive our marriage through writing letters, pictures, etc., and going to visit him in Texas every now and then. But his parents, I doubt I can handle, mainly his mother. Even my dad likes Chad. It's Sandra that makes everyone so miserable. Sandra. There's always got to be a Sandra involved, right? Sandra. Anyways, I'll try to call you tonight real quick so we can chat some more. My luck and you won't pick up. I love you so much. Please always know that. There is reasoning behind my closeness to Casey, and I hope you know it is only to come home soon. Please don't be upset anymore about what you read, okay? I'm not cheating on you, and you can never be replaced. You're my sister. Just remember that I'm all that she has right now, and as long as she feels comfortable, she'll keep talking. Love always, Robyn. P.S. I am so happy that you have joined a women's Bible study group. That is great for your soul and fellowship with God. I wish that I had people to study with, but I know that just spending time with him honors him. I'm so proud of you, heart. Share the letters with my dad also so he can help you decode if there's anything useful that can help me. I love you, sis. So yeah, I think that Tracy must be her sister, and she's reading these things where it's like she's so close with Casey, and Casey's saying you're my adopted sister, and all this stuff, and the real sister is like, what in the double fuck, you're buddying up to her? Because remember, in 2008, maybe even still presently, she was one of the most hated people in America. So now we're going to go to a Casey letter, but it's like scanned in sideways, and it's so hard to read when it's like this. So here we go into the Casey Marie Anthony voice. I'd be lying if I said that my heart wasn't in it with CW. That hit like a punch in the gut and is still there. Can I be selfish and try and keep if I answer my birthday wish of you being here? I'm incredibly grateful. So, all right, neither expecting this blow. And have I mentioned that I'm not the biggest fan of surprises? The upside of our goodbye is that this right here is our daddy is ready to use you to glorify him, and is surely a blessing. Father, help me to understand the separation as a blessing and as a temporary, which I know it is. Even with all that I say, I feel sick to my stomach. I have with you, regardless of what's hanging, and you're leaving this, and this sucks. I'm being selfish, but I have to because I love you, and I know I'll see your happy ass soon. For the sake of it, this long-windedness, remember that I love you, Robyn, my sister, and that I have ever had, and you are my big sister, and we are never apart. Families are never apart, and they have unconditional love, and I'm always here, and always start counting the days for the RV trip. That's right. CMA's traveling ministry in the RV. CMA. Oh, shit. Don't you do that to me. Don't you do that. Mm-mm. 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 Don't you do that. No, you did not. No, you did not. No, you did not. Hold on. I just got locked out of this for a second. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. There we go. I just had to sweet talk it. Thank God. So it's sideways again, and she like writes in the margins and stuff, so when they scan it in, it doesn't like show it all. So some of the words are, you know, assumed, and so just that's a little disclaimer there. If some of the accuracy is not 100%, if you go and compare the originals on these side ones. So my prayer for you, and the only thing I will promise me that he will hold to that, hold close to the Lord, to continue to plan for the future. Our RV trip. Keep your eye on the prize. Josh, Maddie, we'll reunite. Keep in touch with your family, even your in-laws. Sammy boy too. Remember how much you have changed my life for the better, and that meeting you has been one hell of the greatest blessings. I love you, and I will miss you terribly. This is not goodbye. This is see you later, sis. Hasta luego. Luego. Until next time. Kaylee Star. Hovering over her Aunt Robyn. And your new nickname, Lucy Lou. How weird she refers to her daughter. So weird. She just does not seem like a grieving mom, does she? I mean, whatever the circumstances, this is Tabitha Jane speaking off the cuff here. I mean, whatever the circumstances, she knows that her daughter is not alive. And I just can't believe how she talks. So again, a weird little side note. Setting myself up for this and having a lot of sex dreams lately. Stupid. At least the guys have been hot. Tall, dark, and handsome. Tattooed and muscles. Sign me up. Everything. I have no real desire to have sex. And I don't know the place. I don't know. Me, hornball, you called it. I told you she was having a system reset with those dreams. Okay, now there's this article, and I guess that maybe that was put in by Robyn or Casey, and it is reading from the 2 Chronicles 23 through 17, and it is called Nothing Left But God. And the gist of it is that do not be afraid or dismayed because of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours but God's. And turn your eyes upon Jesus, look full into his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. When all you have is God, you have all you need. And then there's another thing, and basically it's a little thing. So like if you were reading the Bible in 1 year, where you would need to be at and what you should study, blah, blah, blah. And then Casey writes, when you're feeling sad and when you're feeling blue, open your special gift from me, Muffin, to you, my dear Cookie. You may have your letter, but what's inside is a surprise. It's not much, but it's special. Almost as special as you. From Casey. And then here we are at March 2909. And here we are, full on CMA. I mean, like I say, the handwriting is just like frenetic. Each each letter takes up the whole space between the wide line, like I mean, because this looks like wide line paper as opposed to collegiate. And so if you can imagine each character taking up the whole space and in black, and it's just like at you, like I'll take a couple of pictures and put them on my community post at some point so you can see kind of why I'm speaking in the way that I am, because the handwriting speaks to me in the way that her mind was running at this time. I see a lot in people's handwriting, you might have noticed. Well, here we are, guys. Buckle in. Grab a drink. Go to the bathroom. Whatever you need. Okay. Oh, my dear Cookie, how I missed you. I'm so happy that Shannon gave you the go-ahead. Jeepers, or is it Jeepers? Like Jeepers Creepers? Where'd you get those peepers? Yours, yikes, not the only one starving for the intellectual conversations. To think I actually look forward to certain COs being here, scary thought. I've missed my compadre mucho mucho. Our daddy must have heard our miserable cries. I know I've made a big stink about not getting to talk to my buddy. He loves us, as if we had any doubts. Side note, Tabitha Jane here. When she's referring to daddy, she's referring to God, their father in the sky, their daddy. That, became apparent in a little while back, so that's what they're talking about. So I feel like a dork, but as much as a happier one at that, and a much dumber one, thanks to those puzzle sheets, boo. I'm stoked, but anyway, Mr. Clay is gone. That sucks. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what to say. I obviously wish that neither of you were in your present situations, but at least he's getting some real grub. I'm envious of that. Texas? Well, it's warm there. He's in my prayers, love. And you know what? I am very proud of you for doing what you want to do. Go, girl. It's nobody's business regarding your marriage except for you, the mister, and our big daddy upstairs. She told you. I gave you the best advice I could before, and I'll gladly say it again. It is your decision, but the most important thing to do is give it up to God. He will guide you through whatever decisions you make, and you know that he and I both support you. 100%. Don't let any negativity get you down or stress you out. I've been so happy to see and hear you goofing around. Keep the spirits up. You are an amazing woman of God. Don't ever forget that. As far as my crapola, legally, things are moving in the right direction and my days here are quickly coming to an end. Yippee. But as far as my folks are concerned, it's only getting worse. They're really good at putting on the supportive face persona for the TV, but behind the scenes, it's a daily battle. Ridiculous, unnecessary, and downright shameful. But what are you going to do? I just have to keep my distance and hike up my big girl panties. No depends necessary. Not yet, anyway. And keep on. I'm getting the best kind of support from the... It's so weird. I don't know what this word is. BEMANO? Getting the support from the... I don't know. It says the Himano. His exact words. This is my time. I wonder if she made a name for Jose. I don't know. It's weird. His exact words. This is my time and I need to do what's best for me. I love myself. I did get some birthday loving in, but it just seemed insincere. Goes with the territory. As far as all my folks are concerned, 3 of my boys came to see me. The Jose's and the Gabe, you met him a month or so ago. Between them and your delicious cupcake, I saved the cup and the candle and 20 or so cards. It was a pretty successful day. Plus, I chewed out some idiot that was in 20 and Miss Johnson let her have it. It was fun. But enough about that. Same old stuff. Big smile with teeth. I'm glad the baby's daddy, Sam, I forget his name. I'd call him an a-hole if I thought it would make you smile. Stop being a big dummy. You need your kids and they need you. As far as Maddie goes, sounds like she's been spoiled lately, and just remind her that God comes first, and that he rewards the meek and the humble. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a strong woman, or a very young woman in her case, but going from 0 to 100 in 3 seconds isn't always the best way to handle things. She's growing up. We've been there. And I know firsthand how it is to have a strong female role model, and I know you do too. She looks up to you and admires you. She sees your strength and wants to be strong like you. My best advice, tell her where your strength comes from, or better yet, from whom, girl. I can't wait to meet her. How are your parents and your little man? I know you're struggling because you're basically in limbo right now. I'm right there with you, sis, and it sucks. But the life of captivity is temporary for us both, and we must use this time to rest, meditate, and continue to build our relationship with God. He was seeking your attention before, and I know he still wants it now more than ever. It sucks having to deal with my old life, the real and media made. But one thing that is for sure, no matter how hard it seems, we've already gotten through much of the worst of things. Not a day goes by that I don't think about Kaylee and wish that I could have protected her better. From your chloroform? I tried my hardest and it wasn't enough. If I let that plague my thoughts and my emotions, I'd give up in a second. One day at a time, one prayer at a time. One thing I've tried not to do is ask the big questions. How and why? With every letter I receive and when I hear the situation, my story has changed someone's life, I know that it is my questions and those answers don't matter. It's so hard to say, but I know it's true. God is using me. He's using you. And he's still using Kaylee to grab people's attention. And it's our job to lead them in the right direction. I honestly don't know what I would have done without you helping me through this. Even though we've had very limited contact lately, just knowing that you're here is a comfort. And I know the day that I open your letters, it will be both a tragic and triumphant day. I've been itching to open it all this time, and finally I get to read another one of your hearts. I'm a sap. I know. The 2 poems you wrote were still in my Bible, and that's where they'll stay until we get our place. Then they will be framed and kept in a special place forever and ever. You're my best friend and sister from another Mr. and Mrs. But that doesn't change a thing. Smiley face. I'm back to my old ways. Bad jokes, numerous analogies, and page after page of gabbering. Wait, that one's definitely jabbering. Whoa, Nelly. 9 months down for us both, and a lifetime on this earth and in heaven of shenanigans. Oh, Lord. From Muffin and Cookie. Thanks for making me feel like a Dumby with the new puzzles. That's a book I may have to order. Boy, if you could only see the ink stains all over my hand. I'm such a dork. I love you, sis. Love you, love you, love you, love you. God bless Hernikins. Oh, Lord. Oh my gosh, this is why there's this ink. Wow. She drew this beautiful card for Robyn. And there's butterflies and flowers. And Casey's best writing. These flowers are beautiful and intricate. She literally handmade a card. Wow. What? Am I looking at this right? Wow. Wow. Okay, so, it's just kind of, yes, it's Casey. But it's like Casey, honestly, has that borderline personality. Either she has full-on BPD, or she has the traits of it where she just full-on loves somebody. And, I'm not saying that they were sexual in any way, because it seems like Robyn is committed to her marriage. But you know what? Even, married females, females often crave companionship so much that they are, as they say, quote, gay for the stay. Um, I think that what we have here is definitely a girl crush. Casey's love bombing Robyn. It's one of the things that is becoming very apparent here. So, I mean, like I say, I mean, these flowers that she drew are just gorgeous. But I mean, so she did this, and she like made this whole card, and with all these things, and then in it has all these things, and it's like, Robyn Ann, I will never forget the first time we spoke, or signed rather. I knew from that moment on that I had a new friend. Robyn Ann, you have continued to touch my life and every day since October 2008. The Lord sure works in mysterious ways, and I can't thank him enough for bringing you into my life. To my sister, my best friend, and my partner in legal crime, I love you and cherish you for ever and for always. Love, Casey. And you don't see Robyn really returning the love like this. It's really interesting. And, Robyn's certainly keeping that, when she's telling her sister or whatever, Tracy, that, she doesn't welcome this or encourage this. It's really interesting to see how Casey just fell for this chick. On the back of this, there's just two really beautiful butterflies. Like Casey could really, really draw and write. And like she says, she has ink all over her. You can see there's ink smeared all over because she filled in these flowers and filled in these butterflies with the ink. And so you can see that it's smeared all over and really took everything. But she's a really good, I mean, with just a piece of paper and a pen, she did beautiful work. And on the back of the card it goes, may the Lord continuously bless you with heaven's blessings as well as human joys. Psalms 128-5. And then Robyn wrote, and hearts like mine much, much longer. And then Casey wrote Numbers 15.39. You will have these assets to look at, and so you will remember. Always remember, no matter the physical distance between us, our friendship will continue to grow. And then there's another butterfly, and she wrote, I know it's a makeshift friendship bracelet, but this way you always have a physical part of me until you're stuck with me. And a smiley face and a heart. So I think that she made like a little friendship bracelet, paper or whatever, she crafted, maybe ramen wrappers or whatever, maybe hot chocolate wrappers, whatever. I mean, this woman got all the commissary she could want. She had a freaking easy ass stay for murdering her daughter. Now it's interesting because there's an American Greetings thing. What the hell? Because then there's a card and it's like, you're beautiful inside and out. So it's like, I think that she took like a card that maybe she got for her birthday and like changed it in to be specific to Robyn Ann and like maybe colored it in. So maybe she's not this fabulous artist. I'm thinking maybe she just colored in the flowers and the butterflies and then just kind of did all this stuff. I don't know, but she was love bombing Robyn. So here's another sideways one. So it's official. I need a vacation. I was thinking Costa Rica. I want to come with. Unfortunately, we have to wait until we are released someday. A quote from the book. Don't call us out of name. Encouragement is what all people need when facing difficult and lonely transitions. Encouragement and practical support. I agree. Sometimes just knowing someone cares makes everything a little easier and each day a little brighter. Love the journey. Love the journey. Embrace the power of God. And then she goes to echolastic. I can't say it tonight. I can't. I have wax all over my teeth that broke off and everything, and no teeth on the other side, and I can't say echolasticities. I can't say it. Echolasticities 4.9-12. I've always believed that it is our duty to be there for those we care for and pick them up when they fall. We are stronger together, and that bond is unbreakable. And then she wrote, this looks like something that Robyn would have written, because it's more Robyn writing. And it says, "Good morning, sunshine. Hot venti caramel latte with whip and skim milk, please." And it's got this chick with pigtails, droopy eyes, and missing almost as many teeth as me. And earrings. And it says, "Miss you, can't wait to sit outside Starbucks again." And it's signed Robyn. So Robyn, yeah, Robyn's a beautiful artist. So, another weird ass sideways letter. "Bonjour, madame. Man, I'm tired. I'm running on about 5 to 6 hours of sleep because of all the activity last night. Oh well, I saw my pastor this morning, and boy did I need that. I got an update on my family and a few friends from home. Thankfully, there's only good things to report. How's your family? As for new friends, you're the only person I trust here besides my attorneys, who visit frequently, and now my pastor. Most people want to talk to me or get my attention so they can report back to some idiot with a camera or microphone later. It's hard having to watch your back all of the time, but I know I don't have to tell you that. God is my glory and my strength and my faith, and I love definitely power me through the day. I heard a translation of a scripture that has always held weight with me, but even more after today. Romans 10-11. Those who believe in him will not be disappointed. How true. Thank you. New American Version. And Pastor Shane, he's praying for you too. And I'm a little sad because I missed getting to order my commissary because I was with my attorney. Definitely sucks. Oh well, another week of washing my hair. Can you believe that? She's talking about the Lord, and then she's disappointed because she missed her commissary order. Only Casey Marie Anthony. Another week of washing my hair with soap. Just skip washing it, woman. It's fine. And I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't craving something to put a little meat on my bones. I've been keeping a journal. Started doing that the first time I was here, and it helped my family see things from my perspective, as well as helping me vent my frustrations. I hate being cold all the time. I think we're both hitting on the same theme. We're grateful to have someone to turn to. I'm with you on another thing too. Ignore the media and everyone's judgment. It solves nothing by getting caught up in the unnecessary drama. That is just what they want. I will continue to encourage you as well throughout everything. No judgments here. Just an open heart and an open mind and lots of prayer for you and your family. Here's to hoping we're still successful in getting past the teacher and whatever other watchful eyes. Don't worry, I'm not even using the phone or taking visits right now. I'll fight to keep whatever privacy I can get. Hardy ho. How could I forget? Ha ha, no jokes today. Did I mention that I'm not very funny? Only sometimes, rarely. Hey, did I get the note you left the other day? I didn't get your first one, I don't think. Hopefully you got the one I left yesterday. I think it may be a good idea to use a new book. I'll find one and let you know. I'm hanging in there, and I hope that you're doing all right as well. You're in my prayers as well as your family, and God will surely see us through our troubles and the vent talkers. Yeah. Ruin my naps every day. Oh well, I was advised to write I'm has priv. I am has priv. IMHASPRIV on all of my comm sheets to make sure I get my commissary. I doubt they remember to do it for us. Speaking of, I keep looking at my sheets and it's making me more hungry. The beach, I can't wait. Lord knows I need a tan. Stay encouraged. Love ya. I'll resend the little notes I wrote the other day just in case. May your day be brightened by the loving thoughts this brings, and may the angels brush away your cares with gentle wings. Heart. Romans 10:11. Those who believe in him will not be disappointed. How great is that translation? Encouragement, to say the least. Now, Monday, 10/27/08. So, in this discovery and in this, thing, all these things were scanned in and whatnot. They're obviously out of order the way that they go, and I apologize to you guys for that. So here's one from Robyn, and it is dated 10/27/08. So that would be before, I guess right when Casey would have gotten in there, because when did Kaylee become missing? Let me see. So this just might be a Robyn letter. Let's see. Oh, let's see here. 10/27/08. Yeah, okay. Hola, BFF. Love you and miss you terribly. I just had a visit with my attorney and the court probation officer. I was fine until we started talking about Josh and Maddie. Then, of course, I just lost my composure altogether. I wish I was able to have a big hug every day. So how was camping this weekend? Hope you had a great time. Sounds like fun. Thanks for doing something with Casey Anthony's letters. I certainly can't keep them in my cell with me since she's so high profile. I can see by her notes that she's not really all together up there. You see that too? Oh. I cry every single day for my children, and she's inviting me to Costa Rica? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I know, right? I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain that that's some talk of fleeing the country is frowned upon in the judicial system. I pray for her and ask for discernment and a peaceful heart. I saw in the news that she's being indicted for murder tomorrow, 10/28. I think sooner or later she'll break down and talk. Her trial is set for 2909. Tracy, I'm so nervous about my sentencing on January 9. I keep praying that I have extreme favor and mercy in the court and with all of my authorities. I certainly don't feel like a criminal. With the Jane here off the cup. You're not a criminal, Robyn. It was bullshit that you got sentenced. And right now, marijuana crimes are not even a crime. So the fact that you got sentenced to 10 years and your kids are being raised by somebody else and turning into entirely different people because their mom's in frickin' prison and their dad is in frickin' prison and their dad was a frickin' police officer for goddamn sake. It's just bullshit. Anyway, back to the letters. I have a big heart and a conscience. I feel so out of place here. I opened the Bible to Psalm 68:16. God sets the lonely in families. He leads forth the prisoners with the singing. But the rebellions live in a sun-scorched land. I pray for you as I pray for my family. Even the ones that hate me, I pray for. Is that crazy? So tell me, can you understand yourself when you read this out loud? The TSS is teeth sucking. Teeth sucking? Okay. Yeah, so what you say about TSS? Them white girls over there, them girls had some big old broad.
In the shower, you know what? I say and can't tell you, my girl, that I loving you, missing you.
The TSS with 2 sucking, so I had to, improvise. What the is that? Can you believe that they wanted to teach Ebonics in the schools? That's what I hear all the time in my vent. There's a lot of lesbos in here. In fact, I might be the only straight white girl here. I miss you, my sister. Please don't stop praying and petitioning God to bring me home soon. He hears us. Love you, Robyn Adam. P.S. Don't mention Casey's notes on the phone or at our visits. Free me from the trap that is set before me, for you are my refuge. Psalm 31.4. For 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by. Psalm 90.4. And she says she misses her so much. She can't wait till she's out and can give her a hug. And then here we are with Casey again. And Casey writes on the outside of a letter, Romans 5.1.5, it fits. I take great comfort in these words. God does not disappoint. And here we are with a ink blah, 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 blah. And it's just basically saying, Casey saying that I was there to help encourage the scriptures you noted and a new one become pretty in a book and not disappointing. And she remembers Monday, number 12 days, trail mix. Glad she's around the corner. A few months and definitely plenty of writing and supplies and snacks. So basically, she's talking about her commissary order, and there's just a bunch of ink smears. I really can't decipher that one, and I can't see what this one is. It says stay encouraged, and then there's just like a lot of ink. And then it goes here. And it goes, man, do I need a nap? I noticed you were gone for a while the other day. Figured it was a visit. Hope it all went well. Hope it went as good as can be expected. No matter how comfortable you are with them, it's still unnerving. You better be hanging in there. I look forward to your daily Bible verse, and I'm trying to send a variety of things in return. Costa Rica it is. Pina coladas, fresh fruit, and massages. Could use a bit of each. Commissary day. I won't miss it this time. And stupid cold showers. I actually shower with my shirt. It's the only way to stay warm. I'll watch for you later. Love ya. Hey girl, everything is going as usual. The attorney's visits are always unpredictable, but good nonetheless. My main attorney has been giving me a hard time, wanting me to teach him some of the things he's sent back with me to read. It's draining. Now I remember why I don't miss school. My visit last night was good, though 2 hours of chit-chat with our newest guy. Sad but true. I look forward to his visits. The new guy, he's sweet, super sweet, and easy on the eyes. Oh boy, I guess that's encouraging in and of itself. Tabitha Jane here. People barely even get one visit with an attorney. People have a public defender barely get one visit before that, a trial, and that's their life. She gets so many visits from her attorneys and had so many hours and hours alone with Baez, and those are not able to be videotaped nor recorded. So God knows what she was doing, and God does know what she was doing in there. But she really was treated with kid gloves. She didn't, I'm quite sure she was in protective custody. It doesn't sound like she was in General Pop at all. Gen Pop, I think she would have gotten her ass kicked on a daily basis, especially with her little attitude. It sounds like she was in PC, but I don't know. Because of the way that she can talk to other. I don't know. I guess I don't know, but I'm just surprised that she didn't get her ass walloped. And the way that she can go out to TV and all this stuff, it seems like she's getting a little better treatment than most. I don't know. Here's another Robyn letter. Thank you, Tracy, for being such a good friend. Oh, so Tracy's a friend. Sometimes I feel like I'm being a burden by calling you and crying uncontrollably. Sometimes reality catches up to me and I break down in a complete mess. Usually my eyes swell up until they're closed. I feel like I look completely different now. My hair is falling out. My face is always broken out and ugly. My body's always sore and achy. Sorry for complaining. Last time I had a breakdown and started being and talking really negative about my situation, I stopped myself and physically slapped my forehead twice. Pretty hard. To snap myself out of it. Don't worry. Nobody saw me do it. I was talking to myself. I got a few more notes from Casey Anthony. I see her daily, but we can't talk, so instead we secretly pass notes in a dingy jail book on the bookshelf. She doesn't seem to be too concerned with her situation, and that concerns me. Oh my God, I have cramps so bad. Freezing cold showers, body aches, shackles and handcuffs, cat patties, stale, soggy bread, screaming, kicking, recorded phone calls, and a steel toilet for my loins. I surrender. Take me to Iraq where I can at least build sandcastles and eat rice. I love and miss you. And then here we go. Morning, Chica. How are things? Good, I hope. I had a question for you. Know of any good authors, good books? I came to the conclusion over the past few days that I'm going to start cataloging books so I can have a massive library and appreciated works. I won't turn it into one of those book collectors who refuses to touch or read the books once acquired. Quite the opposite. I've come across some exceptional books. Well, here's strange, right? It's made me appreciate writers much more. All right, now that I've bored you, I'll go. Keep smiling, stay strong, and remember that I'm always praying for you. Love ya! Happy Halloween! The pumpkin hearing Let's Carve and Scoop. He ran as fast as he could, leaving pumpkin poop. Thought you could use a funny. If I could help you through this difficult time, I would. If I could, but for a minute, make this easier to face, I would. If I could tell you there's a reason for this, I would. I will help you through this difficult time because you're my friend and I love you. There is a reason for this, and God will show you the way. Have faith and be encouraged. From a friend. From my family to yours, you are in our hearts, our prayers, and our thoughts. We will always be here because we love you. Thank you for lifting me up throughout this crazy journey. These must be little notes that they put, in the books that they have found. And then Casey says, Familia fortudo, mit est Latin for family is my strength. Hold that close to your heart. May the sun shine its healing on you. The moon may quietly rest to you. The stars fill your spirit with peace, and many you know very much you're thought of every day. They who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, mount up with the wings of eagles, run and not be weary, walk and not be faint. Isaiah 40:31. And then Casey wrote in these huge ass letters, stay strong, with a big heart. And ink all over everything. And I decided that it wasn't you, blah, 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 and anything I wanted to throw through you, Lord knows you need it, love. I'm here, and that won't change no matter what happens. I said a few extra prayers for you especially, but also for the hubby and the fam. Turn to God again, as always. It is most powerful advice. He does not disappoint. Have faith and stay strong. Unfortunately, we should, too, pray for our enemies. For we are stronger than they are, but they too deserve our forgiveness and love. It's hard, but in the end, it shows where the power lies in the love of God. He will get you through this and whatever else comes your way. But from my end, ecolastices, I can't say it, ecolastices, 4.912. I'm here if you need anything. Don't hesitate to ask and keep your head up, doll face. As a friend wrote to me, you're far too pretty to cry or frown, but if you must, I love you. God, and then here's this other, it's another like sideways one, and it's talking about strength. This has surely strengthened my bond with God and myself, for that matter. I'm with you and I love you, and this experience has helped me with others, especially for my concern for exploited children. We are very similar creatures, my friend, always encouraging. They ran out of, so I got a credit, wondering if that is money or if they will send one with my next order. Forgot to ask. I didn't order food the first time. I'm looking forward to the Monday. I hope your visits and calls have been going well. I miss you very much. I know you miss your family, especially the ones. Believe me, I'm right there with you. And yes, it's time to teach him. Haha. We're taking turns and each other in the rundown of new finds and books and evidence. The job is never done. This is my job as it was when I was at home. Case stuff. In office and charity work at home. At least me busy here in between books and naps. Psalm, super cool, homie. It's all to praise, agreed. Flushing always, flush. Love ya. 1 Corinthians 13:8. Love never fails. 1 Corinthians 13:4-8. After the storm, the rainbow. After the night, the dawn. Have you ever noticed how after a storm, the world seems so wonderfully new? As if everything that is unlovely had been swept away, leaving only what is clean and bright and beautiful. That is the way it is with our storms that occur in our lives, and at the time the tempest is raging, it is so hard to see past the turmoil. But when we focus on all that is good and believe with all of our hearts, the end of the storm comes more quickly, and we find serenity and a deeper appreciation of life. I believe that you're the kind of person who has the inner strength to walk through a storm filled with hope for the future, and that is what I wish for you with all of my heart. Barbara Burrow. Hey, I hate it when we miss each other, but I guess it's bound to happen. I hate the little shower, but it seems it serves its purpose. I'm collecting book info for my future library. Reading has definitely helped me pull through this. We have similarities in our authors. It doesn't surprise me. Word search sounds lovely. My attorney is trying to smuggle in some too, or Sudoku puzzles. And then she says Romans 10:11. Keep in my prayer list for sure. You'll get your miracle. God does not disappoint. Remember that. I've heard that these cinder blocks have a way of touching people. I never had a big, strong faith, but this... It doesn't finish. Aloha. How is the pictures and people? Dreadful as always, I can imagine. Always glad that I have a non-judgmental friend. Media equals evil. My family is still doing well from what I've been told. They are emailing letters to my attorney, and he brings them to me. It's better than nothing. Sushi sounds so good. I hate seafood, but I won't pass down a good sushi roll or a salmon patty. Tabitha Jane here. I was going to say, how can you hate seafood when you're talking about the salmon patty? I'll have to explain that concept later. It just spells concept with an S. CONSCPT. It's an equally interesting and fulfilling idea. I miss being part of society too. I'm so unsure about the election. What, in just a few days? Oh well. Flush, flush. Love ya. I'm really starting to hate hot dogs. Yuck. Side note, Tabitha Jane here. I heard that in prison they slice hot dogs down the lengthwise middle so that they are not taken and used as sex toys. I'd like to think that maybe they're just cut in the middle, like you do for a toddler, so they don't choke. I don't know. Okay. So then it's this weird sideways thing, and she has to go to court after all the irony for 2 hours. She wrote to you for the better part of it. And it turns out they canceled court. In any case, I'm glad that I didn't have to have a useless ordeal and be subjected to the closure and their gosh darn cameras. She's looking forward to seeing what happened with her attorneys later. She hopes I hope that you're having a good day and your day is full of naps and good music, whatever else you need. And she's sad that she didn't get a good nap today, but all for the better. And she said she's chatted her hand into severe something. Stay encouraged and always remember laughter is good and good for the soul. See ya, sweetie. And a big smiley thing. So I called into court. Yippee. It's nothing important, and we usually waive my appearance. Whoops, not this time. Blah. So I'm sitting in my room waiting to go. I've been ready for at least the last half hour, and I'm still sitting here. A good excuse to write, not that I ever need one. It's the only thing calming me down. I can't read right now. It's too thought consuming, and there's no taming my brain at the moment. I don't say. I've gotten in the habit of even writing my prayers lately. It seems to help me focus more. I've always loved to write, but for the sake of privacy, I've chosen not to. Reading is always nice because it's an escape. How do you escape your own thoughts? You can't, or so I've come to realize. I've been daydreaming so much lately, especially before bed, so much so that I forget that I'm still sleepy. Hence why I'm up reading at 2 or 3 some nights. You got me into the habit of sleeping more during the day, in between my shower and meals. Not a bad idea. I've learned to sleep with the noise, whether during the day or early evening when everyone goes buck wild. Silly. I wish we could order mini TUS. Wouldn't that be great? Mini TUS. Mini hyphen TUS. I don't know what that is. Oh, maybe mini TVs. Yeah, that would be great. Even if you can only watch them during certain hours. I need a new kind of distraction. I've been trying to brush up on my Spanish. Don't want to waste 3 years of it. Use it. Side note here with Tabitha Jane. I think that in prison you do get to have your own individual mini TV. So don't want to waste 3 years of it. Use it or lose it, right? Gosh, are they ever coming? My butt is going numb. Curses. Hopefully you get a laugh by the play-by-play. I don't know any funny jokes, but I live in my sarcasm. That radio would be great right about now. I wonder if it's cold outside. I hope not. Already put on fresh socks and tried to fix myself up a little bit. Have to look good for my audience. Ha. Tabitha Jane here. What a fucking taunt. You're going on trial for murdering your daughter and you're calling it an audience.
I'm looking forward to getting out of here for a bit today, but in reality, this place is the lesser of two evils. Sad but true. No cameras here. I will see my folks today, and I'm nervous as ever. I know I'll be an emotional wreck later. Hell, it's been a full month almost since I've seen any of my family. The only one I have pictures of is my daughter. I wish she was going to be there. Frown, frown, frown. Great. I'm going to make myself cry if I'm not careful. Wonder what I'm missing for lunch. If I'm not careful, I may end up enjoying my absence today. At least I'll miss one crappy meal. I need to order more food with my commissary. I am just trying not to spoil myself. All right, at least I'll laugh again. All I want to do is nap, shower, sneak out for a bit of an afternoon TV, and take a late afternoon nap before my attorney visits later. I guess I am saving them as a visit now. I want to go home. I'll shag you and you can come with. Why not? Maybe snag. Patience is not one of my strong points, not by any means. I've never been a patient person, especially not when it was a kid. My mom had signed me up for modeling classes, and I couldn't stand waiting in the lobby for a half an hour. That didn't last. At least playing sports, I was always part of the action from start to finish, so there was no waiting around, collecting myself or being bored. My nerves have got the best of me when I'm just sitting around. I hate that it makes me feel self-conscious, and I'm not by any means... Hell, especially after all of this, I'm more of a humble person than I've ever been, and probably more so than I ever would have been. Witnessing the things that I have, it's more than enlightening. It's damn well terrifying. I've always had a potty mouth, and the closest I get to the real world and society, the more it starts to show its ugly head. Self-expression in the worst. My mom would agree. I bet she's going to be excited to see me today. Some comforting thoughts there, to say the least. There's always a silver lining to even the blackest of clouds. Want to hear something funny? I'm incredibly afraid of clowns. Yes, clowns. Any kind of clown will do it. I love the circus, but I hate the stupid clowns with the painted smile, ginormous shoes, stupid, puffy wigs, and whatever else they decided to add to their ridiculousness. I saw it when I was 8. And ever since then, I've been ruined. I was never much a fan in the first place, but that surely didn't help. So there you go, your fun fact of the day. Hope you're laughing. It's all sorts of silly, and I know it, and I'm not proud of it, or maybe I am. The joke with my attorneys, I hate clowns, and there are too many fucking clowns at this circus. Referencing the media, other lawyers, and all of those idiots that want to be a part of this freak show. All right, so 2 fun facts, actually more than 2. That's always going to make me laugh. Yeah, I know I'm silly, which is the best kind of ramen. Or those cup noodles. I'm good with either. I've even been considering those pepperoni sticks. I'm starving for real food, real meat. Last night's chicken was pink. Pink? Are you nuts? I'm not about to be sick for another week because of that. Bologna early last week ruined me for the entire week. Like, honestly, I've never had a worse stomachache in my entire life. Every time the food comes, my nerves are shot and I feel like I'm forcing myself to eat. No, thank you. I'm thinking about requesting regular breakfast and only PB&J sandwiches. At least there would be some real protein and something I know I can trust. I'm really considering it. Almost a half hour of waiting since 8:30 a.m. I'm missing my nap. Boo. And now I have myself craving peanut butter. Stupid clowns. I only wanted to make a couple of court appearances in blues. I've heard it's not my color. One of my friends, though, one of the few who has stuck around, was generous enough to write me. First to tell me that she still loves me, and I'm her favorite crazy bitch. So nice, right? Tabitha Jane here. That's my theme song. I'm the crazy bitch. All right. But that really needed to get to my skinny ass home because blue is so not my color. She made sure to reference the lovely mismatching blues. I guess it's only flattering on me when I'm tan, or so she says. What a friend. I still get a kick out of it. I miss that kind of honesty. I do, however, get that from my attorneys. One of the many reasons why I love my boys. They each have their own unique personalities, but they all mesh so well together. I never expected to make friends with my attorney, let alone the humorous ones I've acquired, the friendships such as ours. We're both in our own worst places, but neither of us cares what the other hasn't done. I'm good with that. If only more people in our society and throughout the world, for that matter, shaved shared that same belief, if nothing else, all right, I'll quit torturing you with my ramblings and I'll find some other way of entertaining myself until they come. Yeah, love ya, homie. Flush, flush. They canceled my court today. Ha ha ha. Oh boy, now for my nap. Written while waiting to go to court. Hey, at least I warned ya. Hope you're doing well. A 2-hour wait. And I was still in. Says like LIMA. And I was still in. I don't know. I have pens. It's oddly funny to keep saying it, but like a 5-year-old, I'm rightly proud. The scoop, in case you're still unaware. The day I was indicted, definitely not one of my better days. The jury, or better stated, grand jury, pushed for the death penalty. Well, a couple of days ago, the prosecutor decides that they don't have enough evidence to proceed. Although the entire basis of the case is unwarranted, and saying that I am falsely accused is beyond an understatement, but at least they're starting to back off and maybe realize that innocence is a big factor here. One of my attorneys said it best. The case isn't circumstantial, it's completely speculative. Look at other missing persons cases. Name one that hasn't had something that seems odd. Find one and I'll resign from the bar. He's from Miami and just moments before was telling me about how the court system is run there. And I was hysterical. Gotta laugh, right? So although my greatest miracle hasn't yet happened, one of my many smaller ones has taken place. God works in mysterious ways, and I'm learning to give in and be patient. Of course, it was one day of great news, and then the next back to slamming my family and lead attorney. I miss watching the weather. They do ruin the entire aspect of journalism. Jerks. I do agree. We are definitely made stronger in our moments of weakness. Moving up in status, who knows? Not, well, we'll both come out of this together. I know you'll get your miracle. I'm like my little Irish grandma. I can feel it. Since I just got moved from psych, I can order my radio this week. So she must have been in a psych unit? I am thoroughly excited. Charlie's Steakhouse, yum, sounds good to me. We'll go in disguise since we both missed Halloween. Could be fun. I continue to pass notes to my folks, my attorney, and he brings ones back from them. At least that way it's kept private. I hope to see my pastor again soon. He should be around this week. I've spoken to most of the chaplains here, and they're pretty great. It's an added comfort to see someone from home. So, question. I know that we can ask for razors, and Lord knows how badly I need one after almost a month. Eek. I can deal with hairy legs, but armpits, no ma'am. I need tweezers too. How sad. Can we get them temporarily? Tweezers, like nail clippers? I've given up on ordering thermals, at least this week. Still out of stock. It's not cold to me anymore, so I'll manage. I love my sports bra. The day of rest. Thankfully, it's been quieter than last week, and I'm sticking close to my faith like I do my daily naps. Always refreshing. Stay strong. Love you. Flusharoo. And then she says, read Balancing Act by Martin Gottfried. It's about Angela Lansbury, a great book. Okay. So here's, it looks like something in the side things that looks interesting that I need to kind of really try to get it to be able to read. Okay, because it says, as far as my ex-fiance, huh. Long story, as his dad did not like me at all. He never trusted me because I'm 3 years younger than his son was, and I was a single mom at 19. Like, I was the 19-year-old to have a child out of wedlock. That whole family is very righteous in a scary way. His dad performs exorcisms. Yeah. I have my faith, as you know, but honestly, if you aren't as self righteous, you basically have the devil in your front yard. Anyway, I wasn't in love with Jesse, and I was in love with my daughter. Not my idea of a happy marriage. Oh, he wasn't in love with her daughter. And I mean, Jesse's dad is extremely religious. I will say that, yes. More fun facts. Number one, I'm sure you're familiar with. I gotta kind of go back and forth with this a little bit. I'm sure you're familiar with Jason Mraz. Interestingly enough, his very first song was about a wig. Guess what? A big wig. So silly. Took me almost 20 minutes to pluck my eyebrows the other night, and dude, it hurts so bad. At least I look a little more human now. And no, I don't smoke, but I'd give my left kidney for a pack of cigarettes. Seriously, it'd be something to do. I'd rather poison myself than eat some of the food here. She must have gotten herself some tweezers when she was cleared from psych. Radio and tweezers. And she's talking about, she just like copied down some like quotes from books and stuff. And then, so she's talking about, funny thing, 2 of the 3 times I went home for somebody's birthday. First was my dad's, and second one was the guys on my legal team made the event much better. Okay, so here's a health nut in me. One, yeah, the personal trainer in training. Don't drink juice. Definitely order plenty of bottles of water and whatever mixers. Don't drink the water here either. There's nothing good. And the juice had no juice and is calcium enriched, right? No way, Jose. Stress in your diet will affect your entire body, from your hair to your muscles to your skin. Your hair is made up of entirely protein. And I can guarantee we're not getting any. Order PB and J, order the beef sticks and tuna. Get as much protein as you can get. That way it'll help your muscles as well. Your body was used to lifting extra with your kids and laying and sitting around in numerous weeks. Your entire body will start to hurt. I'm in the same boat too. And I know your pain all too well. Buy Noxzema and wash your face with that at least once a week. Well, I guess, if everybody has had as much commissary money as she does, my God. But I don't think that Robyn did. And actually, scratch that. They can't and they will talk too well. We're always on the attack, but God will always blah, blah, blah. I hate this sideways stuff. I can't wait for that steak. It's funny that you're moving out after this, blah, 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 blah. South Florida, which is a definite possibility. She's talking about Orlando. My mom wants to come with. Okay. Oh. She's just saying basically she owes that to herself and her girl and blah blah blah. I can't read it. It's just when they did this side thing, they didn't size it right, and I got a header, and it's just not. I can't do it. Crap, you're not the only one struggling with intellect lately. I second guess myself with spelling it all the time now. This place, it warps your mind. My definition of joy, that's a good one. I've been trying to think of all of that, and I'm still trying to figure that out. I know my true happiness is in the eyes, smile, and laugh of my baby. God, I miss her. The past few days have been incredibly hard for some reason. I'm ready for this part of the journey to be over already. Although we find our true strength in our moments of weakness, I'm sick of feeling like I'm at my strongest point, and the next thing I know, I'm curled up in my bed, covers over my head, crying, and I can't stop. I agree with you about only trusting people to a certain extent. Unfortunately, we have to be so careful in our situations. Different as they may be, the main factors are the same nonetheless. I can appreciate that now more than ever, and I can honestly say that I have a level of respect for you that I've never had for anyone. You have the strength, my friend, and I hope that nothing and no one will ever take that away. All right, now starting to wish that we were literally at the zoo. At least then the monkeys don't know any better when they're up all night screaming and yelling, and the other times throwing poo. I want to go. And she's like, she wrote some like little picture. Maybe it's a boat. I want to go boating too. Whichever one of us leaves first needs to smuggle the other out. If only. I know you're struggling with missing the fam, especially your babies. I'm with you, love. I'm glad that you get to see them and your mom too. Tell your friends gracias about communication with the hubby. Honestly, write him a letter, but send it to your mom and have her mail it to him. It's an idea. I also enclosed a ton of quotes on love. That's what that other shit was. I say, Casey just was love bombing this Robyn chick. If nothing else, maybe it will help. I'm as single can be, but each one of us gives me hope, even those directed towards marriage. One must never lose hope, and we must always hold on tight to our faith. I'm going crazy too, damn vent talkers. I'm so glad that I have my radio and plenty of batteries. My earbuds are all but glued to my head. I'm going from station to station, finding that I still really hate the constant repetition of each station and the fact that they all play the same songs every hour. That's why I have Sirius XM. The sugar content with all the commissary, unfortunately, that doesn't help either. Stupid things that our parents told us growing up tends to make sense years later, haha. Oh, and toothpaste, wash your face before bed and dab a tiny bit of toothpaste on your breakouts. It actually works. They don't usually disappear overnight. That's wishful thinking, but it reduces swelling, takes away any redness, and 9 out of 10 times it gets the rest of the crap out of your clogged pores. One more thing for your hair. Sleep with it down. These conditions are way less than ideal, but at least we have air conditioning. Even though it's usually freezing, we also have reasonably warm showers, access to commissary, books, and hopefully soon each other. I hope we get to talk soon. The day they canceled my court was a good thing. It should have been rescheduled today for sometime this week or early next week. My appearance has already been waived, so I'll leave the lawyering up to my boys. God. A PC with a roommate? Seriously, who is that allowed? I'll volunteer. I've gotten a few books, and thanks for the puzzle. I didn't check the magazines. I'm slacking. And yeah, my mom's stupid spokesperson. Everyone and their mother is trying to profit from this. It's not a joke or a publicity stunt. This is our lives, for goodness sake. My mom is hanging in there. My attorney is keeping tabs on my family for me and exchanges letters between us. It's always nice to see my name written in my mom's handwriting. My eyes start tearing up and I'm done. Do you feel frumpy? I sure do. I like Sandra Bullock at the beginning of Miss Congeniality, and girl, I could use a day at Target myself. Just to walk around a store, to be perfect, to be a part of society. Side note, Tabitha Jane. Yeah, the last time you went to Target, you asshole, you took your friend's checkbook. You drove her to the airport to go to Puerto Rico, where you did not go, where you were going to go, but you had murdered or disposed of whatever your daughter you did. And so you dropped off your friend at the airport in her car, and you took her checkbook out of her glove box, and you went into the Target, and you went on a freaking little spending spree. You did not go overboard. You got a couple of outfits and a couple new bras and some sunglasses, But you did that with your friend's checkbook. After you dropped her off, after she trusted you with her. What? This chick. Okay. Anyway, back to Casey Anthony. Just to walk around a store, to be part of society. I want to go grocery shopping. I love my Publix soon enough. We'll both get miracles. I'm praying for you every day. Keep your head up and your faith even higher. Love you. Flusharoo. I'm going to share something with you that no one knows about except for my mom and my doctor. About 6 years ago, I noticed a small, dark purple spot under my left breast. Exactly how I spotted it is beyond me. Well, I panicked, showed my mom, who's a nurse, and she said it was a blood blister. But to be sure, I went and saw my family doctor and had my first breast exam. A few days later, he confirms it's just a little blood blister, nothing to worry about. It will go away on its own. Okay, no big deal. Well, years later, it's still there. It's maybe doubled in size, but after seeing another doctor, it's no big deal. It'll go away. About a year ago, I noticed that underneath the skin, under that spot, which is half the size of a chapstick cap, the very top of the cap, there is a gumball-sized lump, roughly the size of a small gumball. So I panic again. My mom tells me to drain it. I drain it. A day or so later, it fills back up. Another trip to my doctor. We can remove it, but it's nothing to worry about. I wear sports bras all the time, and I guess the added pressure doesn't help. So I limit that. Fast forward to a few months ago, roughly the time all of this other crap started for us both. It's now the size of one of those bigger gumballs, maybe the size of a bottle cap. It's hard, and it hurts like hell. Breast cancer runs in my family. My great-grandma had it, and my great-aunt had it, and my grandma had it a year ago. She's a survivor. I'm noticing a pattern, and I'm officially freaking out or worse than ever. My entire left boob is killing me. I wrote my mom. I haven't seen my attorney since Saturday, so I can't get to her yet. I'm going to have her research possibilities. And now she wrote a silly friend thing, and she wrote the ABCs of friendship for her. Okay? So A accepts you as you are. B believes in you. C calls you just to say hi. D doesn't give up on you. E envisions the whole of you. F forgives your mistakes. G gives unconditionally. H helps you. I invites you over. J just likes to be with you. K keeps you close at heart. L loves you for who you are. M makes a difference in your life and never judges you. O offers support. P picks you up when you're down. Q quiets your tears. R respects you. S says nice things about you. T tells you the truth when you need to hear it. U understands you. V values you. W walks beside you. X explains things that you don't understand. Y yells when you need to listen. And Z something you into reality. I don't know. And then hymns for all professions. The dentist's hymn, crown him with many crowns. The weatherman's hymn, thou shall be showers of blessings. Contractor's hymn, the church one foundation. Tailor's hymn, holy, holy, holy. Golfer's hymn, there's a green hill far away. Politician's hymn, standing on the promises. Optometrist's hymn, open my eyes so that I may see. IRS agent's hymn, I surrender all. Gossip's hymn, pass it on. Electrician's hymn, send the light. Shopper's hymn, sweet by and by. Realtor's hymn, I've got a mansion just over the hilltop. Massage therapist's hymn, he touched me. Doctor's hymn, the great physician. One thing I desperately need right now is a peace of mind. It may have started as nothing, but now it's a big something. That has been weighing heavy on my mind the last few days, and with everything else I'm spent. I know you could read it on my face tonight. I need to go home for a million reasons, but for my health, lovely. I don't want you to worry, but I really do value your friendship, and I need a little extra encouragement. I hate to ask for help, but God knocked my ass off my pedestal a long time ago, and I'm a better person because of it. I prayed about it, and I know now that telling you was a good idea. God works in mysterious ways. I'm okay. I'm a fighter, and I will always be. And then it says read last. Ooh. Oh. Here we go. Here's one from Robyn. Hey, BFF. So here's the scoop. I've been allowed to secretly come out really late at night to have one-on-one talks with Casey Anthony around 3 a.m. when everyone else is sleeping. She hasn't been herself lately with her emotions, crying all the time and just very depressed. I gave her a book that I had called Be Anxious for Nothing in hopes that it will help her pull it together a little. She showed me some pictures of her little girl and started tearing up while she talked. She also mentioned that she got a really bad feeling from the other diver who was interviewed. Ironically, it was David Badali's, and I was not shy to tell her my last experience with him, for her not to trust him with her case. Point taken. Officer Hernandez is the only one that will let us talk. She says that Casey will open up to me about her case eventually. I really believe that too. She said last night that she knows that her girl is alive and said that they are not looking into the right places, meaning searches, etc. Her brother has become very close to Joshua Duckett, Trenton Duckett's father. Remember him? Whoa! Ooh. Side note, Tabitha Jane here. Wow. Oh, gosh. I'm going to write this down. Okay. I remember that case. I don't want to speak on it. I'll pick up when I because I'm going to close here in a minute on this, and I will be sure that I'm remembering the right one. I remember that case, and I have not heard any updates on that. Um, Interesting side note that, when I was talking about last night, the Haley Cummings case, and then that, I didn't know that her dad was just in the news. There's a lot of stuff that's coming back up here that is just making me remember around that time period. The other thing after Casey Anthony was that uh, little boy Gabriel that was missing, and the mom was really pretty, but she was like Casey Anthony 2.0, and baby Gabriel was missing, and I think they looked through the dump for him too, kind of like they're looking for baby Quentin. I don't think they ever found him, and I don't know what ever became of her. She, her baby was looking really sick there at the motel when she was having just motel people watch him and stuff. Wow. Joshua Duckett. I want to say that he's the one who the mom said that she killed the boy. And the boy has never been found. I don't think he was ever found. So Lee was getting close to the Duckett. Interesting. Okay. Man. Oh, no. Deja vu. Sorry, I digressed there. And again, we can see that these are really out of order because obviously this is before she knew that, Kaylee had been found and everything. So this is from the beginning. Anyway. I'm hoping to have more one-on-one talks with her. She's really nice and honestly the only friend I have here. I got to see her when I come down the stairs at night. We pass notes through a book and leave it on the bookshelf, sort of hidden behind the bigger books, and that's how we make our conversations. She will be getting out and on bond again in a few weeks. How I wish I could go home too. Some of the officers don't really care for white people, I can tell. They cater to the black inmates, and it seems like it. I'm just trying to stay out of the way and help when I can. I miss our talk so much. 15 minutes of conversation just doesn't cut it. Like, something. And every day I look like I'm happy all the time, but when I go back in my cell, the smile goes away. I started sleeping a lot, the whole day sometimes, in an effort to avoid most of the day. I've been taking time at night to go into the rec yard and back. It's not very big, about the size of the x-ray rooms. Smell a sad face. Is this ever going to end? Every day is such a routine. Breakfast, 5:30 to 5:45. Lights out to 6. Lights on, 6:15. Lunch, 11 to 12. Mail, 2 o'clock. Dinner, 6 to 6:20. Lights out, 10. Shower, 10 p.m. Phone, 10:30. TV, 11:15. My life now is a complete dictation of when, where, how, and who tells me what to do things and what to do all the time. So many people here are so mean and throw their authority around to the inmates. To feel like shit is their priority for 12 hours a day. When I get out of here, I will definitely write a book about this experience. I was waiting for laundry to finish the other night at 3 a.m. and she, the CO, fell asleep behind the desk with me sitting at the table. How did she know I wasn't going to try something crazy? The officers at night shift are always falling asleep. Just last week, the officer asked me to play a joke on the other officer that was sleeping inside the control room, and of course I was game. All the officers hid behind a shelf and desk, and I went up to the window on the outside of the hallway. And under normal circumstances, it would be really bad giving an inmate an out to walk past out of the building. So I knocked on the window and woke her up and asked, "Where are all of the officers at? Am I okay to go?" She immediately panicked and reached for a button on the control board, so I ran back inside and everyone laughed, but the point proven, not to fall asleep. I love you and miss you. much. Love, Robyn. And then here's a case letter. We'll be with our family soon, especially your kids, praying for a miracle. Either when making calls or during visits with my parents and brother, stay strong and stay encouraged. They may be watching us, but we find ways to make it work. Let's continue to pray for our privacy and success. I'm praying for a miracle for you and your family. You're good people, and you more than deserve it. Always smile and don't forget to flush. I think that's something I said to my daughter once during potty training. Haha. I was super excited to get my munchies and extra socks this morning. Too bad they're still out of thermals. Boo. Maybe next week with my socks. I'm pretty warm 90% of the time anyway, so I can't complain. And I'm no longer on psych. OBS with a chance in the media and my constant composure. They couldn't see any reason to keep watching me like a 5-year-old with paste. I've been able to keep my breakdowns private. At least, mostly private. Once the floodgates open, it's impossible to get them to stop. We all deal with things different. And, hun, if you have to cry, do. I'm proud of you for being able to do so. I couldn't help. Hello, friend. How goes it? So I'm such an idiot. I flushed my response to your last note by accident. That's what I get for paying attention. I don't know if you've heard the news, but there has been many big breaks in my case. Falling heavily on my side. I've been praying for a miracle, and slowly but surely, God is working his magic. Don't blame God for what happened. I hope you're able to keep your spirits up and that you're not focusing on the negative. It's hard, but I know you're a tough cookie. I hope your family is doing well. I know how much you miss them. Unfortunately, we can understand what each other is going through in more ways than one, but that's all for the better. God places people in our lives at certain times, and he never ceases to amaze me. Good people always come knocking at your door when you need a shoulder to lean on or a helping hand. I'm so thankful for your encouragement. I'm so blessed to have met you in our stupid dorms from hell. That's the reference I've used to describe our living situation to my folks' attorney, even my pastor. Everyone got a good laugh at it, especially me. As far as picking the restaurant, it's all you. I can always make it down a salad. I can always make it with a salad or a steak. They always sell other stuff at seafood places for those such as myself. For a while there, I thought I had an allergy to shellfish. Not good. I keep getting sick whenever I tried anything, and for a few times, I swelled up like a balloon. Finally, I gave up. I never really liked it anyway. No biggie. I'll stick to my land critters. I have pens. And then she just has like pages and pages of where she's like copying quotes and things from books. Nothing very poignant. And I think that I'm going to go ahead and stop this here. I'm keeping each of these, like right at, the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to stop here at page 185 of the 258. And this will be our part 3. And then part 4 will be next. So, thank you so much for listening. Thank you guys all for getting my sub count up to 700. I'm so excited. I love you all. You guys are so amazing. I have the best subs in the world, and I just have this community of like-minded individuals that can actually talk and not troll and not argue. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, and I love every one of you. So thank you so much. And please like and subscribe. It helps. I need every bit of help I can get. And you've got me to 700. So thank you so much. And I will end here right at that 2-hour mark. Have a great great day. Thank you for listening.